I think today is a good day for a video. Today is June 25th, I think. It's Tuesday. Oh man, this week is going by so slow already. So this is gonna be a little venting, ranting, complaining video. So let's talk about the watch real quick, where it's at, how that business is going. Slacking a little bit when it comes to finances because I'm not on top of it. I have to go and print out all my receipts and all that good stuff showing what I've spent so far, which is probably around like $2,000 or $3,000. I would guess more like around a little bit under 2,000, but I'm overestimating to 3,000 just because I feel like it is a possibility that I've been so careless that I've spent 3,000 and haven't even noticed it. But yeah, I've been printing the watches. They look awesome now. If I was to rate them from 1 through 10, they'd be a 9 out of 10. And the reason it's a 9, oh crap, I just remembered that I left some, like, remember that rock tumbler I talked about once in one of my videos? Yeah, I left that thing running. It's been like a day and a half now. And there's pieces of watch in there, so they're probably gonna be like wasted away by the time I get back, unless I put it for one day. Then it probably turned off on its own already. Anyway, so yeah, so the watch, and I thought about that, you'll see why. The watch is a 9 out of 10, and just because there's really two main issues that is holding it back from being a 10. 3 issues. The first one is that I haven't changed the FEP film, the FEP film. I don't know how to call that. So then on like the outer part, I guess, of the watch, you could see some crease lines. They're very faint, but you can still see them. They're annoying. So that deducts like 0.25 to 0.5 points away. The other reason is because somewhere toward the top of the watch, like toward the face of it, like one of the layers, it looks like it was pulled and it stretched it out a little bit. Again, it's very minimal that this is showing, but it's still enough to kind of bother me. So that's 0.25 to 0.5 off again. And then, which if you're doing the math based on the 0.5, that's already a point off. But that's why I'm saying 0.25 to 0.5, because I don't know how I feel. You know, depending when I look at it, that's how I feel about it. And then the third reason is because I've been implementing this new way of treating the surface, which is I grab a piece of sandpaper. I started doing it with the Scotch-Brite, but I realized that the Scotch-Brite is too weak to give me the desired effect. But I basically, oh, I got a message. I thought my camera stopped recording. But basically what I do is I grab a piece of sandpaper, like let's say 350 grit, and I'll just grab the watch and I'll slide it on the hold on. Alright, so the reason that I just stopped the video was because my parents were calling to ask me if they wanted me to disconnect a spinning thing that was in the backyard. And that's exactly what I said about the rock tumbler. So I guess they found it and they disconnected it, which is cool. It's perfect, because I wouldn't want to like have it on too long. Where it's gonna destroy the pieces that I put in there, which it wouldn't be like the worst thing ever if the pieces like withered away. I don't know, I'm so tired, I can't come up with my words. What was I saying though before that? Oh yeah, so I've been doing that where I grab a piece of sandpaper and I slide the watch across the surface of the sandpaper over and over and over and again in the same direction, and then when I clean that off, it makes it seem like it's brushed aluminum in a way, like brushed metal, and it works better with the black resin. Like with the black resin, it gave it a super nice finish. With the red resin, which is kind of transparent, or translucent rather, it doesn't look as good. It's not bad, but it's not good. It's almost like translucent. You don't have to do anything to it really. But okay, the reason why I deduct like 0.25 points from there, because I haven't figured out a way, like, so on the front and on the back it's easy because I just flip over the watch and I just slide it across the sandpaper. But on the side, since it's round, it's really hard to get inside all the spaces, so it's really giving me an uneven, like, effect. What? The heck? My car is freaking me out. I just got like a huge... I just got like a huge like flashing light that said brake. I'm like, what do you mean brake? There was a truck in front of me, but it was like had enough distance. I didn't even slam the brake or anything. Probably because I'm talking, like I realized like, hey, stop eating garbage, you know. Or maybe it sees into the future. I don't know. So yeah, so that's really like what's up with the watch. And then yesterday I printed, so I've been doing the black one, you know, 9 out of 10, boom, we're almost there, guys, with that one. The red one, on the other hand, I printed it yesterday. It was looking so good, like fresh off the plate. It was looking awesome. When I went to assemble it, it didn't fit together. It's almost like the parts expanded. But see, what happened was that I printed the body 2 days ago, and I printed the back cover yesterday. So when I went to put it in there, I had to force it in, and I had 2 bodies and 2 back covers. And when I went to pop them both in, they both broke the body a little bit, like it chipped it. I'm not selling it, like that's the point. I don't care if it's a little bit. I don't care if it's not noticeable. If I find any sort of resistance getting that in there, it's not being sold that way. So what happened was that I looked at it and I'm like, crap, man, it really like drained me a little bit. So, you know, I was excited when I got home. I was printing, you know, as soon as that happened, I just stopped the printer. I was like, whatever was on, I just stopped it. So there's 2 issues that could be possible. Either A, because I printed them different days, like it's set differently and the resin expanded in unwanted ways. Or, so there's 3 reasons actually. That could be the first one, that they should be printed on the same day to avoid that. I will try that. But I think actually what it is, it's the setting of the resin, that the resin, the more exposure, the more I guess like the more time it's on the bed, like receiving UV light, I feel like the more the particles of resin around are being captured, therefore it's creating a thicker surface. So I'm gonna try to lower the light a little bit. So I think it's like at 16 seconds, which is a lot. That's what it said on the website to use on the forum that I'm using, or the spreadsheet. But I'm gonna try it with like 10 seconds, see if that makes a difference, because the black resin I'm using, I only put it for like 8 or 9 seconds per layer, and everything fit beautifully. Actually, it fit a little bit kind of loose. So, and then the third thing it might be is that the resin itself is not as good quality as the new one I bought. I don't know, man, I don't know, but like it was kind of discouraging for that to happen. Like I wake up sometimes, like that's where the rant of this video comes. Like I woke up today in the morning and I didn't feel like, I just thought about it. I'm like, man, this is so dumb, like this whole watch thing, right? And the interesting thing is that I often hear people say that they, you know, it's really hard to stay like 100%, you know, like believing in something. I don't know if most people are that way or not. I don't know. I'm not like that though. I realize that's probably why I lose motivation towards the end. Cause like for example, today I woke up, and as soon as I woke up, like one of the first thoughts is this: oh man, cause I've been going to the gym with my girlfriend. So we've been waking up at 5:45 in the morning, and we've been getting to the gym like at 6:05. We've been working out to like 7. Then I get home like at 7:15. I shower, and then I drink some coffee, and then I have to hurry and leave before 7:30. Like it's a rush. You get me? Like I can't really enjoy it, and that's something that I hate so much. So warning, you know, this is the complaining part of the video, but so like I know I shouldn't be bitching and complaining, you know, I really shouldn't, because like, let's be honest here, you know, I could just not have a job and have all this free time, but then I wouldn't have money per se, so then I can't enjoy anything. Like I wouldn't be able to go to the gym or anything. But so I understand that I have to be grateful, and I am grateful and all that stuff. But at the same time, it's like, man, when I wake up, I'm like, it's such a bad experience for me. And I kind of wish, I don't have regrets in life, but one of the things that I wish I would have thought about was the whole working for someone else. And I think I've mentioned this before in other videos, but this idea of just working for another person is such a horrible idea. It really is, because I don't know, like I wish I would have thought about that a little bit more. I wish I would have sat there and think about why do I want a boss? Why don't I just try to do something myself, I don't know. But yeah, I wake up at 8 in the morning. Or no, I go to work. Right now it's 7:52, so I'm almost there, and I always feel like I'm in a hurry and I'm in a rush. And then I get to work, and it's just nonstop, just working from 8 to 5 with my hour of lunch, and I just feel trapped because I'm in the same freaking corner of a building. Life is happening outside the building, yet I'm just there in that freaking corner for 9 hours a day, and then I'm in this car for another hour to hour and a half a day. It's 10 or 11 hours wasted doing something where I'm just trapped there. So it gets kind of frustrating to think about that. And it's I just feel like crap, man. I wish I didn't have to do that. I wish I could just be home and work from home. So that's why I want this watch thing to be a reality, because if this watch thing was a reality, then I could just wake up in the morning. Let's say I'm living with my girlfriend already. I'd wake up in the morning, whatever time, but I'd probably naturally want to wake up early. But even if I don't, it doesn't matter. I'd wake up, let's say at 8 or 9, right? But no alarm clock, just naturally. I wake up at 8 or 9, and I go and I start, sanding and 3D printing, and then my girlfriend wakes up, and then we can have coffee together and watch TV, and I can start sanding as I talk to her, or I could be printing and I'm talking to her, and we're watching the morning news and stuff. And then by 12, I'm done doing all the stuff I need to do, so I pack everything up and I go to the post office with her, and then boom, I ship the watches that I've sold out, which would be 10 or 15 in a day. And then that's wishful thinking. And then boom, I'm done for the rest of the day. So then we go visit family, we go back home, we can relax, we can go to the gym, we go to the supermarket. It's just endless possibility, and that's what I find beautiful, because we're making enough money to live comfortable, and we're able to travel, with it. So that's basically the goal. But then I started to think man, what if this whole watch thing is BS, right? Because these watches, they cost me X amount of money and X amount of time, and someone almost crashed there. X amount of time, X amount of money, and let's say I want to sell them for $200, right? It's let's say I make them for $0, which is not true, but that means every watch that I sell, I'm making $200 profit. If they cost me 0 and I sell them for 200, easy math. That means that if I sell 10 watches, that's $2,000, right? I make around $3,300. I think I make $4,000 now before taxes. So that means that I would have to sell 20 watches a month, which is not bad, right? But sometimes I think man, is that gonna be doable for me? I start to question it, and I start to fear that, so. But then at the same time, I'm telling myself, it's man, anything could work, really. You can make anything work. It's just the dedication. It really is. And I've learned that firsthand, through school and things that I've done in the past that I didn't believe were possible, which I don't have an example right now, so I'm just gonna have to take my own word for it. But yeah, so that's basically where I'm at right now. I hope that that by next year, I hope and I wish and I pray, and I'll try hard, that by next year I don't have to be doing this anymore. I don't have to be waking up and following someone else's, let me rephrase that, waking up super early and following someone else's orders I pray and I wish and I'm gonna try hard, and I hope that by next year the case is that I'm doing this watch thing, doing it for myself. I'm comfortable, and I'm making like such good money from it that I'm saving. I'm saving like a lot of money. I'm investing back into the business a lot of money. I'm living comfortably with my girlfriend. We're really enjoying it. We don't have to bust our asses at work. And yeah, and I guess I want to end with something. It's not that, look, here's the thing. It's not that I feel that I want to work less. It's just that I feel like traditional work wastes time for no reason. So let me explain. So 8 hours a day, right? In those 8 hours, realistically, like if they gave me a paper and they're like, we need this done by today, right? I can most days probably leave here by like 1 or 2, because I would just bust my ass, not take lunch, you know. Hold on. Okay. Yeah. So if they, and that's something that I hate so much about having a boss, because like if they just told me, look, here's this paper, okay, there's 20 tasks in there, we need that done before today, and it was like an honest list. It wasn't like 100 things that no man in the world could do. Yeah, I know. No, it was like a realistic thing. Like, let's say something set up for 8 hours, right? Or yeah, that's fair. Something set up for an 8-hour day. Or at the same time, something that's like, maybe they're like, you know, we don't need you to be here freaking 8 hours today. We only really need just this done for our meeting tomorrow or something, right? Something fair, like something realistic. But let's go with the 8 hours version. So they give me a piece of paper and they're like, hey, look, we need this done. This is based on what we assume is going to take you 8 hours, right? The average person would take 8 hours on this. Boom, they give me that. You know, I'll be here at 8 in the morning, but maybe I could finish that in like 5 hours, 6 hours, even 7 hours, but I won't take a lunch. So like, let's say 7 hours. Let's say it takes me 7 hours, because I really don't take a lunch and I bust my ass doing it as fast as I can. And quality, of course. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3. I'm done by 3. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Done by 3. I just go home and I eat. Like, but no, it's not done that way. It's like, hey, we need this done. I finish it. Okay, now do this. Okay, I finish that. Oh, okay, well, now do this. Okay, I finish that. Okay, now do that. It's like non-stop. Just tasks and tasks and tasks, and some meaningless. And there's always the pressure. Like every hour, someone comes up to me and they ask me, and they're like, hey, how's it going? But it's not like the type of how's it going, like, hey man, you good? Like, you know, you want to take a break? You want to talk? No, it's like, hey, I'm curious to see what progress you've made. You know, it's like, dude, it's just, you know, I hate it so much. And I'm here at work. It's 8 in the morning, so I gotta get going. But I just want to say something I thought about yesterday, or 2 days ago, and I told my girlfriend. But the interesting thing is that when I used to work at the bank, I fucking hated that job so much. Ugh, hated it like with a passion. But here's the interesting thing. What I hated was the customers, because the customers treated me like crap. Like they treated me like I was a servant, and I wasn't worthy of life. Like I was there to serve them, right? And that's cool, because in a way you're right if you're a customer, but at the same time it's like you shouldn't make people like uncomfortable just because they're in that position, right? So they would often make all of us tellers make like really uncomfortable. Yeah, my phone's getting tired of this. But the cool thing was that I still, for most people, they were like most of my coworkers, we were friendly to each other. Like we wouldn't make each other feel like crap. Like we did depend on each other a lot, you know. But if like one of us called out sick or something, like we didn't take that personal for the most part. Most of us were like that. There were like two that would get pissed when you would call out or something like that. So it was like those people I didn't really get along with. But what I'm trying to say here is that the majority of the time, like the enemy was the customer. But your team, your coworkers, they were your friends, you know. And I made good friends there, and I still hang out with like one of them to this day. But here, it's like the client is still the enemy in a way. It's messed up to say, but like, they're very demanding and they don't really care about you. They just care about their work, which is understandable. I completely understand that. I don't take that personal. But in my position, I don't deal with the client directly, so I shouldn't have that type of stress. Like my stress should be like coming from deadlines and things like that, which is understandable, of course. I would prefer no stress, but if I have to have stress, it makes sense that it would come from like deadlines and basically my mistakes. For example, if I make a mistake, that's whatever. But a lot of times it feels like I'm a freaking 3D printer, right? And I look at my 3D printer sometimes and I'm like, geez, I hope it has no feelings, I hope it's not like a sentient being yet. Because I'm starting to feel that way where like they give me all this work and I'm producing. If I make a mistake, they're just like, like it's like my fault, right? And when I do produce these amazing things, it's like that's exactly what's expected. And it's not that I want like a thank you or a great job or a pat on the back. No, it's not that at all. But it's like, I feel like they expect perfection, which is really freaking difficult to achieve in architecture. And like 99% of the time, I'm not hitting perfection. I'm probably hitting perfection, to their standards like 1% of the time. The rest of the time, it's like I'm in the 90% of like effectiveness. And they're just like, it's like they're against me in a way, or like they just feel like, that I'm not good enough or something. I don't know. I like I said, I'm bitching and complaining and everything, but this is what the work life has done to me. So I really want to get out of here as fast as possible. Sometimes I wish that like I could win the lottery, even though I don't play. And like when I was younger, I didn't want to win the lottery, but now I'm like, damn, I really want that lottery, just so that I can have like a safety net, so I can quit my job and just be doing what I love to do. Because this is not it, man. This is really stressful. And I know you guys are probably thinking like, oh, well, why don't you just quit, right? Why don't you just quit? Or why don't you just tell your boss that you're not happy? Easier said than done for me. And if you watching this have done that before, then I commend you, because that is not something that I can do. I suck at doing stuff like that. So it is what it is. I'm out of here. I got like 10 seconds left. I went over 5 minutes. I'm late by 5 minutes.